The S&P 500 daily chart with the Bollinger Band shows the squeeze is on for the Bollinger Bands. The pincher movement is starting to straighten out here for the upper and lower band, and price has been living above the mid band for the past 5 days, so it has a better chance of breaking out to the upside right now than the downside, until it starts living under the Bollinger Band mid-band for days like this. 5 days seems to be a good number, and then it could break out to the downside. So as it stands now, the odds are for a breakout to the upside, and the channel 3 high and upper Stark band are still very close together. Channel 3 high 48.45, upper Stark 48.41. So there's a little bit of wiggle room above the upper Bollinger Band, which is at 48.15. So it could get above that band on an impulsive move to the upside, and could find some resistance here, but nonetheless be above the upper Bollinger Band. And with lines switched on, you can see that price action had a very difficult time again qualifying the ongoing supply line. So to get the ongoing supply line qualified for Tuesday the 16th, there would need to be a gap up higher than this high, 4802.24, and then close above the supply line for end of day on Tuesday, and it will be qualified. The other way would be an open reverse break, meaning if it opens lower than the close or doesn't gap up high enough and then turns around and heads south, if it can tick under 4750.57 and then turn around and close above the supply line, it will be qualified that way. And then for Tuesday, a straight up close on the 16th under 4722.79 will qualify this demand line. Keep going and get under this demand line at that level for a close, and that becomes qualified also. And zoomed in a little further, you can see the Bollinger Band mid-band here, the 20 simple moving average in solid blue, and right under there is the cloud conversion line. You would think that that's okay support. Under there is the 21 EMA in dashed blue, and then the bottom of the Bollinger Band, you would think that that would be pretty good support too. And one bright spot of a few bright spots is that the relative retracement up 3 is in qualified status as it closed above it by a few points. So an up close, down close, up close above the level qualifies it. Now it needs to open higher than this close, and then tick higher than this high, and then close above this close, all for end of day Tuesday the 16th, and it becomes qualified and confirmed, and our sights will be set on the qualified and confirmed propulsion exhaustion up in this daily chart at 4900 about. And right there is another relative retracement level up 4, and that's right together there, so that's the next big resistance. And in the perfect world, when it does all that, it hopefully will qualify and confirm this relative retracement up magnet going back to October 2022. So qualify and confirm that on the fly within this zone, And then I say we blast through this eventually, probably sooner than later. So that's the perfect world. And the arc level 0.618 is really taking a hook up, kind of drastic there. It's at 4703.05 for support underneath that conversion line there. And the QQE fast wants to get back above that slow QQE. It's on a trajectory to do so. And it's getting kind of tight in this area here, these past 4 or 5 bars for the cell setup count sequence. So it printed the sequential and combo cell setup 5 count, and to negate that for end of day on Tuesday the 16th, there must be a close below 4756.50 for the price flip back to the buy setup count 1. And that would be a pretty big loss there. So it really needs to start moving up and give us some breathing room. And there's still a long way to go to get the swing point for zigzag. And the swing point here for going up, or straighten it out and just look like a straight line like this. But it would need to have higher lows for the next 3 bars. And now ATR4, as you can see in this column here in G, has had a setback. So 40.52 for the close of Friday, and that puts it under the ATR from the day before. So it starts over 2 now. And about 6 trading days ago, we looked at this chart, and I was commenting, wouldn't that be amazing if it just skimmed right off of this DMI minus, meaning the DMI plus, and then just headed up, and DMI minus headed down, and it really happened. So that's really a good sign. That's another plus. And then concerning is the fast, as expected, to get back above overbought and meet the slow trigger up there. So the fast, the slow, and the pressure are all up there, and an ATM trigger trend strength bar was printed here, this color green. So that just means this is like really strong uptrend still. And the P alert down has stopped a few days ago, 4 or 5 days ago, even though the overbought down indication is there with this solid purple line. The P alert is not present anymore. So it's getting kind of stretched. And if we see it change color to this overbought up and get a P alert up, that means we're more than likely going to head down. And another good sign is that REI was headed back up, but that was a threat to go find and seek neutral zero because of this little mini downdraft. But with some up bars, that changed. It came off of 0, and that was a buy signal. And the best part is that the marker 1 stayed above the oversold line, so it did not go below it. And same thing with ROC, stayed above its oversold line. So that's really a great show of strength there. And if it blows this, which it could quite possibly do, I mean, the market is ignoring a lot of bearish divergences and rockets, bullets, and bombs flying all over the place. And we're part of that fray now over there in the Middle East. So they're really looking past all that and ignoring it almost. So it's very concerning, all that going on over there, and could quite possibly blow this. And quickly on the S&P 500 2-minute chart from Friday, you can see the high at 4802.40, and then a really precipitous drop down after that. I mean, it just came out of the gate like gangbusters, and then the kibosh was put on that. And that segues into the S&P 500 weekly chart, where this qualified and confirmed propulsion exhaustion up here at 4804.96. So it was just a few points away from tagging that. And if these get tagged when they're qualified and confirmed, the odds are that there's more upside to come, and that doesn't mean it's just going to keep going. It could have a bit of a downdraft, but because it got tagged, eventually, sooner rather than later, there's going to be upside continuation. So to lose that was quite concerning, but I just couldn't short. I tried, and I did, and then I got rid of it. I just don't want to hold shorts with this going on, and it could be a bad decision, but the risk was just too heavy over the weekend to hold it, to see what everybody continues ignoring everything and just running this thing up. Common sense will tell you from everything we're looking at that we should be shorting like crazy, but I did not. And the other two bright spots, along with the relative retracement up 3 becoming qualified, are these aggressive sequential and aggressive combo sell risk levels becoming qualified. So again, same rules. And then it has more hurdles here, the real sequential and the real combo sell risk levels here. So one could consider these more formidable than these two, but these two have really proved to be quite formidable to get across. And price has been hanging around this area for at least 5 days, so came pretty close on these two, and then was definitely in the mix on these three. And they could get qualified and confirmed. I think if they don't, if these three levels, these two here and the relative retracement of 3 do not become qualified and confirmed, I wouldn't call that a major setback, but that would definitely be a setback, as the chance for 2 chances in a row are gone then, because of this close being lower than this close. So we'll have to wait a few days to even get the chance to get them qualified again. And concerning is all these 13s all over the place in the weekly chart here. And next week should be an easy beat to print the sequential sell count down 13. All price has to do is close higher than this high here, 4754.33, for end of week coming up, end of day Friday, and this will turn into a 13 and will give us the sequential and combo sell setup 11 count. So that's for recycle. These will become recycled if it can make it up to 18, and that's a long way away, a lot of weeks.